One of the most important and most misunderstood elements of S&OP is accountability. Because without clear accountability, even the best processes and tools won't deliver results. Numbers may get produced, reports may be circulated, but when things drift off plan, nobody feels accountable. And when no one is accountable, leadership loses trust in the entire process. So, what does accountability actually look like when it comes to demand planning? Well, it starts with ownership of the numbers. Sales is accountable for the bookings plan. These are the orders we are expecting to come in. Operations is accountable for supply. What can realistically be produced and delivered? Shipments are a shared accountability. Sales provides the unconstrained view of what can be sold, but once capacity constraints are applied, the entire S&OP process owns the constrained plan together. In many organizations, it's right here where we get things wrong. We hold sales accountable for shipments. And as a result, we end up having sales swoop in on operations to make sure that the shipment plan matches what they've committed to. And often they've committed to this plan without really understanding what the supply constraints are. It's a recipe for disaster, right? So when it comes to outcomes like backlog and inventory, these aren't things that anyone owns directly. Instead, they are results of our plans and should be aligning more to targets rather than to people. If we aren't hitting the targets, it's a result of missing our plans. Or it might be because we have the wrong targets. So as an executive, make sure you're holding the right people accountable for the right outcome, or you won't get the results that you're looking for. So for the demand plan as part of S&OP, this starts with the following. First, separate your bookings and shipments for clear accountability. Second, set targets for the backlog and align that with your operational goals. Third, segment your demand by demand streams that align with your go-to-market strategy or customer segmentation. And finally, you want to assign accountability for the demand streams with the appropriate resources. Here's the critical point of all of this. When the numbers are off, whether that's missed shipments or an unexpected backlog or wildly unpredictable bookings, the accountable person must be able to explain why, not with excuses, but with data and context. This is what builds trust. I haven't met an executive yet that expects perfection. They do, however, expect clarity, ownership, and transparency. And this is where the executive engagement becomes essential. Leadership needs to see that the accountability is not blurred or pushed around. Every key number has a clear owner, and that owner is ready to stand behind it. When executives see that discipline, their confidence in the S&OP process grows. What happens when we don't have this accountability? Well, metrics get debated instead of managed. Meetings, they turn into blame sessions, and leaders stop paying attention because they no longer trust the data. But when accountability is strong, S&OP becomes a reliable decision-making tool. Executives know exactly who is responsible for each part of the plan, and when the results drift, they can focus on solutions rather than finger pointing. And that's the ultimate value of accountability. It gives leaders confidence, because at the end of the day, accountability isn't about control, it's about credibility. And credibility is what makes S&OP a process that executives trust enough to run the business. Here at DBM, we help companies implement an executive-run S&OP process. This looks like having each department in the business understanding the plan, knowing who's accountable, and giving the executives the ability to make informed, strategic decisions. You can learn more about S&OP support, roles and responsibilities, and how to get S&OP clarity at dbmsys.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel for more on implementing S&OP. You can learn more about how DBM can take your process to the next level by visiting our website, www.dbmsys.com. Thank you and take care.